I want to do a short video about why I'll never give up fighting feminists, and I'm committed to the anti-feminist cause until the day I die. And I actually hope to see some real progress within my lifetime, like the remaining 30, 40 years. I at least want to see feminists lose a lot of traction and anti-feminism to grow, and the awareness that feminism is a legitimate hate movement to actually grow within the general population, and the people stop making excuses for feminism, and to stop falling for the fallacy that feminism used to be valid in the past and it's just overreached. It's pushing back against something legitimate oppression in the past, and blah blah blah, all that sort of nonsense. That when you explain to people and you actually prove it that feminists were oppressed in the past and women weren't oppressed in the past, and feminism has always been a hate movement, they just ignore you. They don't seem to digest that information in, and so they're anti-feminists from a false frame, right? And I've actually had a lot of frustration dealing with feminists and dealing with MRAs and fake anti-feminists and saboteurs and men who don't do anything and men who don't coordinate and men who just obsess about irrelevant shit or hijack with the right-wing politics or trying to reach out to left-wingers who in principle should support me but just like call me an incel or backstab me or just waffle on about Marxism. Or the worst of the lot are the Marxists who pretend to be against identity politics but who are still feminists and support feminism and say, oh yeah, you MRAs are just as bad as the feminists. You do identity politics just like them, while they support almost every single feminist position. Okay, so I gave up fighting against feminism a few times, and like one time was like I think like 6 months. I just had enough of feminism. I just wanted to game and focus on other things in my life. But I ran into a problem. I ran into feminists in my online social life. Okay. Now, what's this image here? This is a gamer geek girl sticker, and it's an anti-male nerd sticker. No male nerds. It's got to be an ugly male nerd, the fat male nerd. Like if you're ugly and male, you're a subhuman, deserving of scorn and contempt. And to attack a group, an ideology, I think this is an anti-Gamergate sticker as well. To attack an ideology and just call them ugly is the lowest form of satire and ridicule. It's just so lazy, and it shows a hostile, nasty, malicious side to the people doing it. It shows what they're like. Oh, this person's ugly, therefore they're invalid. And a lot of people do this are not exactly good looking themselves, to be honest, right? Because I've just noticed a pattern where people do this. So, anyway, this is leading to something. There's a reason why I'm showing this. There was this gaming Discord, and it's Fantasy Star Online Blue Burst one. And it's a Athenia Discord group, and it's a very beautiful, tight-knit gaming community. It was a private Fantasy Star Online private server. And it was quite small, but it was always active. It always had like 40 people on at a time on average. It would never drop below 20. Sometimes it'd be like a couple of hundred, but it's a very tight-knit, good community, very hardcore community. Right, and I was playing it for years. It was like a home to me, a home away from home, online, in other words. But there was a couple of problems. There was two problems, right? And the first one, a male nerd backstabbed me because there was feminists in his Discord group. He's a close friend. We actually had each other's address. He sent me things, I sent him things. That's how close we was. And he had feminists in his group ranting about women getting harassed in the group. And I just expressed skepticism of this. And the feminists talked to him and they put pressure on him to give me a warning. And I knew the writing was on the wall. And I just said, look, you're dead to me now. You betrayed me. Because I knew it was coming anyway, right? These people hate nerds like you. They're making false accusations of harassment to dominate and take over the group. And you're falling for it. So I just left. But he wasn't actual head of the online Discord community. He just played with me and was very close. But I left his group. Then a few months later, in the Athenia Fantasy Star online group, there's a radical feminist in the Discord group insulting everyone, spewing venom and hatred, like swearing at people, calling them names, calling them misogynists, just going absolutely berserk, like any minor disagreement, she would attack you. And there wasn't meant to be any political talk in there anyway. It was against the rules, but she was doing it anyway. And there was rules against harassment. There's rules against verbal abuse. And I've seen people being banned for that before. She wasn't getting banned. She was a blatant, overt feminist. I tried contacting the mods repeatedly. They just ignored me, right? They didn't respond. So I did a little test and I said, fuck you to them. I sent DMs to fuck you. Then they responded, right? And they acted bewildered. Oh, why are you being rude to me? What did I do to deserve this? And it was gaslighting because I sent them countless messages, these mods, talking about this abusive feminist. Then I raised it in their forum and I got banned, right? So I left their Discord group. So what's the point I'm trying to make here? There's 2 points here. You can't escape feminism. You can't ignore feminism. You can't think, oh, I'm not going to fight for men's rights any longer, because the feminists take over everything. They take over everything, including male spaces. And male spaces are especially male nerd spaces, are the first ones to fold so quickly. They fold so quickly. These social comedians who don't have any interest in the game, who only play with it to socialise with their boyfriends most of the time, right? They just take over it, and that's it. It's gone. That's how they start gatekeeping against any anti-feminist or anyone who's not overtly pro-feminist. They'll just call you misogynistic. They'll call you an incel. And they'll ban you, right? So this is why we got to fight feminism. I've got to carry on fighting it, and we can't stop accepting feminism. We've got to stop this free speech bullshit from people, right? Oh, don't ban feminists. There was like a free speech concern troll, like blocking people left, right, and centre from his Twitter, but saying, "Oh no, you shouldn't block feminists, but you block MRAs who call feminists out." Okay, so what's the real motive here? You want to socialise with females. That's the real motive of these male nerds, these free speech concern trolls. They want to socialise with females at any cost, and they'll socialise with feminist females at any cost, right? That's just how strong the male instinct is to socialise with women. It's just very, very strong, and it's irrational, and it has to be overcome. So we've got to grow our movement. We've got to be proactive and focused, because there's been a lack of focus recently. We've got to make content. We've got to network. This is for a shield for men. You've got to network with us. You have to network with us. You make good videos. I can tell you're dedicated, but you actually got to network with us. You can't put it off any longer. It's a core part of the pro-male strategy. Proactive men have to network and try and grow the movement by content agitation, making content. Right? We've got to network, and we've got to grow spaces. We've got to make pro-male spaces, and we've got to make front groups, right, for geek spaces and hobbies. And they can't be too overtly pro-male, but we've got to make them so we can gatekeep the feminists out, stop them taking it over from the start. That's what we've got to do, right? We've got to start gatekeeping the spaces against them and use their own tactics against us. They use Trotsky-like entryist tactics, right? And we've got to start using it against them, and we've got to start planning for the future, and hopefully one day we can get a critical mass, and not even a critical mass, just enough people, 1% of the population acting in a coordinated manner, or 0.5% of the population, or 1/10% of the population, right? Or even 1,000 men acting in a coordinated manner online. We can start gatekeeping against feminists and setting them back and pushing them out and marginalising them. We have to silence feminists, and because we are passive as men against feminists for decades, right? We allowed feminists to march on the street and call us pigs, right? Call us names. We still married them. We still dated them. We still gave them all the legislation they demanded. We still let them into the workplace, spewing venom against men, spewing hatred, getting men fired under false accusations for decades. Because we allowed this, we've got a big problem. It's going to be very hard to tackle. They are entrenched, and they're gatekeeping. It's going to be very hard to get rid of them. It's going to be a generational thing, but we've got to start doing it now. We've got to get rid of the feminist gatekeepers and make sure they never come back, right? Okay? So I tried giving up on fighting against feminism because I got sick of the ineffectiveness, but I've got to stick with it because I can't escape feminism. I can't socialise and escape from feminism. I can't watch media without being feminist poison being forced down my throat. I can't be in Discord gaming groups without feminists hijacking it. I can't listen to classical music without feminist nonsense on it either. On radio, there's feminist programs on classical music stations in the UK, right? You can't escape feminism, and I've had enough. Please join me and help me fight back against them. Make no more excuses. Don't be passive. Make content, blog posts, make your own blog, make YouTube videos, network with us, right? And do something with us, right? I can't do this on my own. I've got a good group of people with me, but it's not enough. We need more.